Caitlin Clark, one of our girls, is the finest point guard under 25. Above Paige Bueckers, at the top of the list. Clark, Caitlin. Caitlin is ranked first, followed by Paige. I was correct on the first two. However, it said that there were great expectations for Paige Bueckers' professional debut, with GM telling ESPN that she will be inducted into the Hall of Fame in her first season. Last week, she became the first player to drop 40 or more points in a game with 80% efficiency, which was her greatest accomplishment. Just reading numbers makes people stupid. And Caitlin at the top. Yes, no. Just 2 minutes ago, we witnessed the writing of history. As Caitlin Clark holds the top spot on ESPN, Paige Bueckers is moved to tears as she observes her rival's success. Everything in women's basketball will change at this point. The media is finally giving Paige Bueckers a reality check once more because, well, ESPN simply said it like it is. Caitlin Clark, one of our girls, is the finest point guard under 25. Number 1 on the list, ahead of Caitlin Clark by Paige Bueckers. They claim that Caitlin Clark was officially crowned the best point guard under 25 by ESPN, surpassing all other contenders. Her domination is indisputable, even if she has played few games because of injuries. Once more, Paige Bueckers is left trailing behind after the recognition. Caitlin Clark, one of our girls, is the finest point guard under 25. Despite Caitlin Clark's injury, ESPN is finally showing her some love, dog. They announced that she was the top rookie under 25. Paige Bueckers was ranked lower on ESPN's list than Caitlin Clark. Clark's shooting, passing, and floor impact remain unrivaled despite her injuries. This sets her apart from Paige, who, in spite of high expectations, is still ranked number 2. Number 1 on the list, ahead of Caitlin Clark by Paige Bueckers. She has only played in 13 games this season, averaging 16, according to reports, because of ailments. 5'8", 5 boards and 8 assists. However, Clark has a huge impact when he is well. She accelerates the tempo, breaks down defenders with her passing, and extends the shooting range. Every time the 23-year-old takes the court, she exudes an unrivaled level of energy, and her confidence inspires the squad. Caitlin Clark topped the ESPN list, while Paige Bueckers came in second. Paige is left behind as Caitlin keeps creating history. Paige has the potential, according to many, but Caitlin's accomplishments have already changed the rankings. First of all, Caitlin. Paige is number 2. I was correct on the first two. Aaliyah's number. The first one is Caitlin Clark, I guess. That's what I expected them to say. Personally, I plan to accompany Paige, particularly in terms of potential. Paige will rank among the best players in the history of the game if she succeeds. Even though ESPN named Paige Bueckers a future Hall of Famer, she was still only slightly lower than Caitlin Clark. Her efficiency, according to critics, is insufficient to overtake Caitlin. As Clark gains more attention, Paige finds it difficult to establish her place at the top. No, Paige will undoubtedly be inducted into the Hall of Fame. Of course Paige will. Most of Becca's efficiency is retained. What are you like, and why are you yelling? For example, what does efficiency mean to us? Even if she shoots 46% from the field, I won't care. She shoots middies only. I apologize. A layup and a midi are as valuable if she made 40. Furthermore, she would be an utterly ineffective player if she made 46% of her layup shots. Just reading numbers makes people stupid. And Caitlin number 1, No, Caitlin Clark was firm at the top of the ESPN list when it peaked. Despite her skill, Paige Bueckers was unable to claim the top rank. The message was plain to fans. While Paige is left feeling sad and fighting the strain, Caitlin keeps making history. The top person on the list is Caitlin Clark. I'm not shocked. ESPN has a goal to promote. Do you understand what I'm saying? The median darling is her. The golden girl is her. The machine is behind. My purpose is to express my disagreement with Caitlin Clark's ranking as the top performer with the high ceiling. I'm thinking about someone who made several different changes to the game. For the purpose of being a great player, I'm referring to your desire to be a GOAT. You aspire to be an exceptional player, because we use the word great so indiscriminately. For example, you're excellent if you score 20 points and dish out 10 assists. When Paige Bueckers joined the league, there were high expectations, with a general manager even forecasting that she would be inducted into the Hall of Fame in her first season. Even while she has had moments of genius, Caitlin Clark's domination as a rookie made such comparisons even more severe. although it was claimed that expectations were high for Paige's backers entering the professional ranks, with GM telling ESPN that she would be a Hall of Famer in her first year. Paige has been under pressure to live up to her billing. Yes, that's what his name is, Kurt, and she has mostly lived up to it. She is on track to become the only rookie, or rather, the only player, to average 19 points and 5 of 6 in their debut season, joining Kayla Clark. UConn's field goal percentage of 46% indicates that Bueckers' efficiency has decreased. Paige Bueckers and Caitlin Clark are the only rookies to average more than 19 points and 5 assists, and Bueckers came in at number 2 on ESPN's list. She stays in the debate because of her effectiveness and talent. However, Paige remains in the background due to Caitlin's capacity to overwhelm defenses and generate excitement. Now let's talk about Paige. On the list, she is ranked number 2, stated that there were great hopes for Bueckers' professional debut, with one general manager telling ESPN that she would be inducted into the Hall of Fame in her first season. She is on track to become one of the few players to average 19 points and 5 assists in their debut season, joining Clark, and she has mainly lived up to the promise. With the best field goal shooting percentage of any guard at 46% and a league average of at least 16 points, Bueckers' effectiveness has largely transferred from UConn. Even in 2025, she still has a place in modern basketball thanks to her mid-range skills. Last week, she became the first player to drop 40 or more points in a game with 80% efficiency, which was her greatest accomplishment. Caitlin Clark was ranked first in ESPN's poll, which sparked controversy. Paige Bueckers was ranked second. Paige has the resources to be the best, according to some pundits. However, it is clear from Clark's record-breaking accomplishments why she is at the top. The rivalry between the two continues to heat up. Here we are. The first is Caitlin Clark. Let's take a quick glance at the list before we proceed bar for bar. Check to see whether it was correct. First of all, Caitlin. Paige is number 2. I was correct on the first 2. Aaliyah's number. Here is the article from which this piece was taken. It said that the top young players in the WNBA are ranked 25 under 25. Paige Bueckers will probably be inducted into the Hall of Fame, according to analysts. However, despite her skill and efficiency, Caitlin Clark is still ranked first. Fans keep contrasting their looks, and Paige frequently receives criticism while Caitlin gains attention. Paige is even more irritated by this discrepancy. The top person on the list is Caitlin Clark. I'm not shocked. ESPN has a gener. Do you understand what I'm saying? The median darling is her. The golden girl is her. Behind her is the machine. I am here to express my disagreement with Caitlin Clark having the highest ceiling. When I think of someone with the highest ceiling, I picture someone who has the ability to alter the game in a variety of ways. First of all, since you want to be a GOAT in order to be a great player, you aspire to be an exceptional player, because we use the word great so indiscriminately. For example, you're excellent if you score 20 points and dish out 10 assists. Isn't it simple to put pressure on you all? You're not great because of that. On the basketball court, you must be able to demonstrate excellence in a variety of areas. Thus, in my opinion, Caitlin Clark still received a great deal. Although Angel Ree was ranked lower than both Paige and Caitlin, discussions revealed why ESPN gave Paige a lower ranking than Caitlin Clark. Many people think Caitlin stands out due to her leadership and work ethic. It serves as yet more reminder to Paige that she is not viewed as the best option. Angel or Paige would be my choice. I'm attempting to reflect. Malonga, Aaliyah, Caitlin, and Paige are probably in front of her. I would give her a 4. I would give her a 4. I still believe that it's difficult to question. I like not to place a lot of bets on work rate. I would pick Angel Reese over Paige Bueckers because, if I had to choose, I would rather wager on work rate than talent. I'm not implying that Paige doesn't put in a lot of effort, but I would rather wager on her abilities than her abilities. When Paige Bueckers became the first player to score 40 points on 80% shooting in a single game, it was a historic occasion. Nevertheless, ESPN still ranked Caitlin Clark higher than her despite this accomplishment. For Paige, Caitlin's top ranking eclipses every accomplishment. She has demonstrated that the mid-range game still has a place in contemporary basketball. Even in 2025, shooting the most points of any guard with an average of at least 16 points. Last week was her greatest accomplishment. She became the first player to shoot 80% of the time and score 40 points in a game. This article was probably written by a variety of authors. I suppose. However, Caitlin Clark continues to outperform Paige Bueckers in terms of true shooting percentage. Analysts note that Analysts point out that even when Paige shines, Caitlin's ability to stretch the floor and dominate makes her the undeniable number one. This gap has left Paige fighting to prove herself. For me, is like the real mark of, efficiency. Caitlin Clark is more efficient to Paige Bueckers. Like her rookie year, she was higher on true shooting percentages. I'd have to see what it looks like in year 2, but I almost want to throw year 2 out for Caitlin because it's been injury after injury after injury, and, the health has just not been there. And based on her rookie season, I think I'm willing to say we should give her a little bit more grace. Supporters argue Paige has the potential to be one of the greatest ever, but right now, Caitlin Clark holds the crown. ESPN's ranking made it clear Clark is at the top while Paige is still trying to put all the pieces together. That contrast defines their rivalry. Center in the league for this next wave of players. She's clearly under 25. So she probably has another good 7 years to 8 years, especially being a big to dominate as the number 1 center when the BGs are gone and the Asias go away. She's going to be right there running the center position. So I can see it. But as far as potential, I think she's really, really close to tapping into her potential. Dominique is interesting. And again, I said I thought she would be number 3 because I didn't realize Aaliyah would be on this list. Well, I still wouldn't have had Leah at 3, honestly. Critics questioned Paige's efficiency, arguing that her shot selection doesn't measure up to Clark's impact. Even though Paige is highly talented, the ESPN list confirmed Caitlin Clark's status is number 1. The comparisons have left Paige in an emotional and difficult spot. Caitlin Clark number 1 on the list. Not surprised. ESPN has a genital push. You feel what I'm saying? She's the median darling. She's the golden girl. The machine is behind her. I'm here to tell you I disagree with Caitlin Clark being number 1 with the highest ceiling. I'ma keep it simple. When I think about somebody that has the highest ceiling, I'm thinking about somebody that can change the game in multiple different ways. Number 1, because in order to be a great player, I'm talking about you want to be a GOAT. You want to be a great player, because we use that word great so loosely. Like if you put up 20 points and you put up 10 assists, you're great. That's easy to pressure y'all, right? That doesn't make you great. You gotta be able to show greatness in different areas on the basketball court. So when I think about Caitlin Clark, I think she's still got a whole lot. Analysts admitted Paige Bueckers is destined for greatness, but in the same breath confirmed Caitlin Clark at number 1. For fans, the message was simple. Clark continues making history while Paige is forced to chase her legacy from behind. No, Paige will absolutely be Hall of Famer. Paige will absolutely Bueckers' efficiency is mostly carried over. What are you shinging on about? What are we talking about efficiency? I don't give a damn if she shoots 46% from the field. She only shoots middies. I'm sorry. If she shot 40, a layup and a midi is worth the same amount. And if she shot 46% on layups, she would be a completely inefficient player. Just because she shoots dumb shots at a higher percentage than most does not mean she's efficient. People are dumbasses just reading numbers, and Caitlin number 1. Yeah, no. The ESPN article highlighted Caitlin Clark as the number 1 player under 25 despite her injuries. Her ability to stretch defenses and lead with confidence made her the clear choice. For Paige, this meant settling into the 2nd spot, fueling more comparisons. When it comes to, best WNBA player, I should say, that's under the age of 25. Man, let's head on over to X, check all of this out here, man. So, we all know Paige Bueckers, has been getting a lot of love from, her fans and people in the media, man. Now, this right here stated a new ESPN article has Caitlin Clark at number 1 in the rankings link below. So, it stated, Caitlin Clark, Indiana Fever point guard due to injury. She has been limited to just 13 games this season, averaging 16 points, 8 assists, and 5 rebounds. But when healthy, Caitlin impact is enormous. She stretches the floor with her shooting range, pushes the pace, and picks defenses apart with her passing. Analysts projected Caitlin Clark's prime to include multiple MVPs, championships, and even becoming the biggest star in women's basketball history. That lofty prediction placed her above Paige Bueckers, leaving Paige fighting to keep pace in the rankings. She will average over 10 assists a game in a season, and she will average 25 a game in a season. She will win multiple MVPs, multiple championships, and pretty much rewrite women's basketball from a star perspective, and probably end her career as the biggest star to ever play women's basketball. For me, this is number 1, and it's really not even close. From number 2 on, I think you do have a discussion as far as, when they talk about bringing in the peaks. We look at Dominique Malunga, who's 19 years old. ESPN's list showed Caitlin Clark above Paige Bueckers, and fans immediately debated the decision. Supporters of Paige believe she could still rise to greatness, but Caitlin's dominance right now made her the undisputed number 1. Number 1 being Caitlin Clark. I figured they would say that. Me personally, I'm going with Paige, especially as far as potential. If she puts it all together, Paige will be one of the greatest players to ever play the game. She has a skill set. She has the tools to literally do it all. She got a bag on offense. She can get down and be a presence on defense. I see Paige being with as far as potential. If we're basing this off of potential, it's Paige 1 for me. So I would definitely change those 2 around. When the ESPN rankings reached the top, Paige Bueckers was slotted just behind Caitlin Clark. Even though Paige has proven herself with scoring and efficiency, Caitlin's overall impact on the game left her in the number 1 position. No, Paige will absolutely be Hall of Famer. Paige will absolutely. Becca's efficiency is mostly carried over. What are you shouting on about? What are we talking about efficiency? I don't give a damn if she shoots 46% from the field. She only shoots middies. I'm sorry. If she shot 40, a layup and a midi is worth the same amount. And if she shot 46% on layups, she would be a completely inefficient player. Dominique Malunga and Aaliyah Boston were also discussed, but the main debate always circled back to Paige and Caitlin. Paige held the 2nd position, yet experts made it clear. Caitlin Clark was the one making history, not Paige. Then we have got Dom Malunga at 4. There's no way. There's no way that Don Malunga is any lower than 2. There's no way. You cannot. I mean this. You cannot put Dominique Malunga lower than 2 and have me take your list seriously. Dominique Malunga. If you want to put Caitlin Clark ahead of Dominique Malunga, go ahead. Go ahead. But in August, she's averaging 13 and 7 on 60% shooting. She is one of the 5 youngest players ever in the WNBA. Despite her being injured, ESPN let it be known Caitlin Clark is the best WNBA player under 25. Caitlin Clark will win multiple MVPs, championships, and become the biggest star in women's basketball. Number 1 is Caitlin Clark. Number 2, Paige. That's the ESPN list. Paige Bueckers became the first player to drop 40 points in a game on 80% shooting. ESPN finally is giving Caitlin Clark some love despite her being injured. Do they let it be known that she is the best rookie under 25? She will average over 10 assists a game in a season, and she will average 25 a game in a season. She will win multiple MVPs, multiple championships, and pretty much rewrite women's basketball from a star perspective and probably end her career as the biggest star to ever play women's basketball. Here we are. Number 1 is Caitlin Clark. Before we go bar for bar, let's just look at the list. See if I got it right. Number 1, Caitlin. Number 2, Paige. I got those first 2 right. Number Aaliyah. Paige Bueckers, 3-level scorer, defender, make the right play, knows how to read the game, high basketball. I'm gonna actually keep Paige Bueckers at number 2. But I'm taking K down off this list. I'm going to take off the list for a second. No, Paige will absolutely be Hall of Famer. Paige will absolutely. Becca's efficiency is mostly carried over. What are you shinging on about? What are we talking about efficiency? I don't give a damn if she shoots 46% from the field. She only shoots middies. Caitlin number 1. Yeah, that's obvious. Caitlin keeps making history. Paige keeps chasing. What's next in this rivalry? Don't miss it. Subscribe, and